right here at Triathlon.com. We're talking about 70.3 Washington happening at the time of this recording. This is September 13th, so it's happening at September 19th, so it's coming up this week. So this is kind of the last video I want to make, probably for this race event series. Talking about the swim course, run course, weather, bike course, all the course information, the athlete guide, the weather, pretty much anything I can think of. Might go back and retroactively add some stuff later when I put this course on the website for the members. But now we're doing this live. I want to talk about the event schedule. I hit it on a little bit during the athlete guide because it is part of the athlete guide, but I just want to make sure that you guys are staying on top of the event schedule because it's got all the important information where you need to be. So basically go to the site specifically for the race, so 70.3 Washington site, hit the athletes, and hit the event schedule, and there it is. I always like to pull up the PDF. It's just a little bit easier to navigate and print it off. I save it on my computer and have it for later and all that kind of good stuff. So what I do want to point out is, so do notice there's going to be some information on here, face coverings, all this kind of stuff. So if you printed off the athlete guide or the event schedule a couple weeks ago, this information could change. So make sure you're paying attention to any kind of, because look at the updates of September 7th. So if you got in here and printed off before then, this might have changed on you. So just make sure that you're up to speed. You're following the Facebook page for any last minute changes or anything like that to the schedule, to the event, to the venue, or anything like that. Right now, race is still on. That's not a problem. But there's a couple of things going on that you might just need to be aware of. So September 19th is race day. So they're starting check-in on Friday, and I always like to get in, at least give you a full day in between getting there and the race. So if you get in Friday, at least you got Saturday to check in, drop your bike off, get everything done, and taken care of, and you race on Sunday. I hate to see people get in, unless you're local and it's like 30-minute drive or something. I hate to see people get in the day before the race and they're hurried and slammed, and they're all anxious and got everything going on. So I always like to try to get people there the 2 days before, give a full day in between events. And if you can get checked in 2 days before, that's great, just to get that out of the way and everything taken care of, so then you can just kind of relax on that day in between. Main thing all you got to do is get your bike checked in and get everything ready for your race. So notice on that Friday, they only opened up at 2 p.m., but they're open until 8 p.m. For check-in. Well, check-in is 7 p.m. Parking is 8 p.m. because notice the parking location right here is going to be different than, because they're going to have a shuttle system, because all the videos have gone over. Lake Wilderness Park is kind of its own little area. It doesn't really probably have much in the way of good parking. So they're going to have you guys go into, look like an elementary school, and they're going to have you shuttled in. So you're going to need to be prepared to park and ride a shuttle to get into the Ironman Village and do all your check-in and everything. If you do have your bike with you, you could probably, if you needed something done to it, you can ride your bike there or walk or something like that. So just make sure you're aware. Trying to highlight this here. Let's see if we can pull up on Google. So Lake Wilderness Elementary. So if you get directions, just trying to see. It is about, it's not even a mile. So technically you could walk there. So you can park and ride a shuttle probably, but you could walk. It takes about 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So if you did bring your bike and you need anything in there, that's how I always tell people to get there a little bit early, because if you got a problem with your bike, get in there as fast as you can to the tech center and to the bike maintenance people to try to get in there as soon as possible, because they book up pretty quick and they're already doing tune-ups and everything else going on. So if you got a problem with your bike, find out quick, take it in quick as soon as possible. So that 2 days before, you could do check-in, get all your gear. Ironman Village is going to be open, so if you see any of the gear that you like and you think you might want, you better buy it when you first get there, because I guarantee you anything that's cool or that you're going to want later that a lot of people want is going to be gone, especially 2021 when there's no racing last year. Basically, everybody's hungry for the gear and for the stuff. So if you see a cool t-shirt you like, you see a hat you like, or anything like that, I'd get it when you first go in there, and 2 days before, you got the best selection. The day before the race, usually selections are pretty slim. For what I experienced, 70.3 Des Moines, Ironman Tulsa, pretty much the day before the race or something like that. All the good stuff is kind of gone. There's still some, race specific stuff, but it's getting slim pickings there the day before the race. So 2 days before, if you see something in Ironman Village that you really want, try to make it happen because it's going to be gone pretty quick. But notice face covering is required. So it looks like the state of Washington has done some masking considerations. So anytime you're in the village or anywhere in there, you have to wear face covering. So make sure that you're coming prepared. I would imagine that they're going to have disposable face masks kind of on site that you could use, so they won't just necessarily turn you away or anything like that. But just make sure you have one and you're prepared when you get there. Saturday's kind of the same drill, but they open at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for athlete check-in. They have the Ironman Village. They have the bike store and the information tent, all that good stuff. Mandatory bike check-in, 8:30 to 5:30. So don't wait till 5:30 to get to the parking lot and then walk, because by the time you get there, they're going to be closed down. They're not going to let you drop your bike off. Unless you have extenuating circumstances, you reached out and coordinated with the race and the race director, they're not going to let you drop your bike off or bring your bike on race morning and let you into transition with it. So you've been warned, you've been told, I'm sure it's in every athlete briefing, mandatory bike check-in, 8:30 to 5:30. If you got a problem, you better bring in at 8:30 on the dot or 8 a.m. when Play Try and the Tech Service Center opens to get your bike looked at or anything like that. But mandatory bike check-in, I like to drop mine off later in the day, just so it's not sitting out there all day. Looking at the weather, it's not going to be extremely hot or anything crazy like that could affect your tire pressures or temperatures or anything like that. But just so if there's a breeze or something, there's less chance of my bike being there as long as possible to anything to happen to it. But when you do the athlete check-in, they're going to have little pieces of paper that you pick your bike check-in time. So again, be there 2 days before the race, and you're going to get kind of prime pickings for the bike check-in slots. So the later you wait, possible the later you are going to be dropping your bike off, and you may be kind of limited on the time slots you can come in. If you do come in the day before, maybe it's in your best interest to have everything ready. So as soon as you get your bike and take it with you from the parking lot to Lake Wilderness Park, you put the stickers on and everything right there. Just check it out, take it for a little quick test spin, and then rack it and leave it there. So, if you want to be economical and efficient with your trips, maybe bring everything with you and then bring it over. And all you got to do is put your stickers on there, check it out, and put it on the rack, and you're good to go. So, just something to keep in mind if you're just going to want to make one trip. Because if you have to get your stuff, you're going to have to put stickers on your bike and then bring it back in. So if you leave it wherever you're staying and you go back and you put your stickers on, you still have to bring it back by 5:30. So just plan ahead on that. I notice they do have athlete briefings in person. Most races have been either recording them or pre-recorded videos. So they're doing virtual athlete briefings as well. So pay attention to the Facebook page because they'll post those. But they're doing in person on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They do have some Fridays at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. So just so you're aware of that. Sunday, race day, face covering is required unless actively racing. So when you're getting into transition, notice 4 a.m. shuttle parking lots, race day shuttle lots will be assigned to athlete check-in. So what that's saying to me is an athlete check-in, you're going to get probably a slip of paper or something like that you have to put in your car that will allow you to park wherever your shuttle is going to be at. Face coverings are required at all times on all shuttle buses for all passengers 2 years of age or older. So it looks like you can bring your spectators, but everybody has to wear a mask, 2 years and older. So just be ready for that. Just be prepared. Just have it with you. Bring disposable. That way you can wear it up to the point where your race starts. So you're getting all ready and stuff and you're wandering around. Have a nice disposable face mask that they're probably going to have trash bins, trash receptacles right there at the swim start. So you can just ditch it right there to trash. And as long as you're racing, you're good to go. Probably at the finish line, they'll have disposable masks that you can grab and put on at the end of the race. So just be aware of that. That's going to be a deal. So 4 a.m. is when the shuttles start, or when the shuttle parking lots open. So sooner than later, especially when there's shuttle systems involved, you don't want to be waiting in line. You don't want to be over anxious. You don't want to be sweating it. So make sure you get there pretty close to when they open up and they start shuttling people, just so there's no stress on you and no ifs, ands, or buts. If something happens, you got a little bit of time to maybe come back to your car or something like that. If you forget something, you can come back and get it. But don't wait till 4 a.m. or don't wait till transition closes at 6:45. So don't show up at the shuttle area about 6:30 and plan to be on time and not be in a rush. I get there at 4 a.m. when it opens, so that way you get a good parking spot. You get nice, you know, you could sleep after the race. You're not going to sleep well the night before the race anyway, so might as well just plan on getting a little bit early, getting there, getting plenty of time, getting all your stuff sorted out, get everything on the shuttle, go over to transition, have plenty of time to set your transition up. So it's 5 a.m. to 6:45, transition opens to come in and get everything set up. 6:50 a.m. age group rolling race start. So right here, it's looking like transition is going to be set up right here. So other races, there's been a little bit of a walk to get to the swim start. There's no walk. So basically, you set up in transition and start kicking you out about, looks like 6:45, 6:50, plan on start. Make sure you're self-seating right. I've done plenty of videos on how to seat yourself for the swim start. So make sure you're seating yourself properly. That's a big thing, especially with the rolling swim start. You're going to be with a group of people no matter where you're at, unless you're one of the fastest athletes out there. You can swim with everybody else and miss everybody. Other than that, you're going to be swimming with people, so make sure you seat yourself properly so you don't get swam over, you don't have to swim over people. Even if you try to swim wide, there's going to be people everywhere. So just plan on contact, just plan on it, and try to seat yourself with the appropriate swim speed type of people. Ironman Village informational tent, just in case you need it. Post-race athlete food. So 10:45 a.m. So if you're speedy and you get done in 3 hours or 45 minutes or something like that, there's the food tent and you get ready to get it. And then 1:45 mandatory bike and gear bag checkout. So just pay attention to that. Usually they're pretty firm on that time when they start letting bikes out of transition area, just because they don't want a bunch of people in there in transition trying to race and people in there trying to get their gear out, and it just makes it for a big cluster F. So just be patient. If you're one of the earlier finishers, just have plenty of patience. They'll let you get your bike out and all that kind of good stuff. This is the other key thing, is 4 p.m. as award ceremonies and 2022 Ironman 70.3 championships allocations. So if you think you're going to qualify for 2022 Ironman 70.3 Worlds, you have to be there in person. Begin immediately following awards. Be early. Must be present to claim your slot. So they're not doing email. They used to do it at the beginning of the season with the pandemic protocols and everything. They email out, and I think it just wasn't working very well because they're giving people 48 hours, and it just probably didn't take too long. So you have to be there in person. So 4 p.m. if you think you're qualified or you want to stay there and see if the slot rolls down to you, you need to hang out until 4 p.m. and be able to claim your slot in person. So basically, I mean, I went through a lot, went through it kind of fast, and make sure I hit all the highlights. So this is the event schedule. This is everything that's going on. If you're wondering, where's an athlete briefing? When's the village open? When's the bike tech going to be there? It's all right here. When's the parking lot's going to open up? When's the shuttle? So I definitely get there and figure out the parking versus the shuttles. And then when you get your shuttle lot that's assigned to you, I would definitely go find it and see where it's at to make sure you know where you're going on race day, so you're not spinning your wheels or out there trying to find where you're supposed to park and getting stressed out about that. So I think those are going to be the highlights, and especially the face coverings especially for this race. It looks like, I think this was kind of recently added. Washington kind of went back, reverted back a little bit to face coverings and requiring those in large gatherings, outdoor or indoor. Make sure you have your face mask. I definitely invest in some disposable ones to bring, especially on race day, so that way you can just throw them in a trash bin, and you don't have to worry about if it's a nice one or something like that, a nice cloth one, BOGO gear or something like that. You don't have to worry about throwing it away and missing it and that type of thing. So while you're racing, don't have to have one, but if you're done, finish line, you're wandering around and transition stuff, they kind of expect you to have one. More than likely, they'll have disposable ones there for you, but let's all play well in the same box, and let's just make this race happen and not give anybody any reasons to come back and say, well, that didn't work very well, we're not going to do that again. So let's give them reasons to keep us there and want us coming back for more. With that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up on Facebook. If you're seeing it live, if you're seeing a replay on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Hit me and subscribe. Go to the notifications to see when I post any other future videos. Doing this with plenty of other events. We're looking at Waco 70.3, Waco Full Ironman, 7.3 Memphis, Ironman Florida, and other events kind of later in the year, Ironman Texas. This is October this year. And then we're rolling on to 2022 races. So pay attention. Future races coming. If you have any comments, put them in the comments. If you have any things you want to hear about, maybe pertain to the event schedule or any other things, put them in the comments and I'll read about them. But specifically for you 70.3 Washington people, hopefully you've trained hard, you're ready. ready to race, you're recovering this week, you're tapering well, and happy training out there, and good luck on race day, and we'll see you guys at the finish line.